everyone, and welcome back. And now today we have an amazing person that's coming in to meet with us as another referral partner. Listen, Susie is like the shit, okay? Like, not only does she have a really fucking great name, because we love her name, but on top of that, she offers some amazing services. When you're talking about wanting to speak, she is your gal, okay? Now, let me tell you something. A lot of people want to speak, a lot of coaches and consultants really want to get out on that stage. So if you're one of those people, this is the place you need to be for the next like about 15, 20 minutes, okay? Susie is like the shit on this. She's gonna give you some great details, some great info. So thank you so much, Susie, for being here today.
Yeah, it's great to be here, Suzanne. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, now guys, remember, I always make sure that all of my guests that come in bring a free gift with them. So remember to stay to the end, especially if you're looking to get on that stage. She is like the absolute person for this. Okay, so like if you are looking to get on that stage, if you are looking for that free gift, stay until the end. The magic word will be dropped at the end, and then you can get that free gift from Susie. So Susie, I got to ask you, what got you into speaking in general? Like some people are like, speaking is hard.
Yeah.
Like, what
Yeah.
got you into that?
Yeah, honestly, I don't consider myself a speaker. I don't want to be a speaker. That's not my jam, but I spent 8 years in corporate helping finding speakers, recruiting speakers to be part of continuing education seminars. And I've always been in a sales support role and I love sharing people's gifts with others. So if you tell
Mhm.
me you're so good at this XYZ, I want to share that with as many people as possible because we all need to share our gifts. If we were all sharing what we're best at, how cool is that? The world would be a better place.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree with you more. And that is like that's a really cool angle to come at it from because there's a lot of people out there that are like, well, I teach speakers how to speak because I speak. And it's like you don't just know about speaking, you know about how to find good speaking
Yes.
engagements.
Yeah.
That's like one of the hardest parts because there's a lot of people that are like, hey, I don't know which ones are good. I don't know which ones are going to be a waste of my time. So like if somebody were just like, hey, listen, like I just don't know how to find a speaking engagement, what's like one of the first things that you would tell them to take into consideration when they're looking at becoming a speaker?
Yeah, I would say definitely get a sense of where your ideal client would be hanging out, even if it's on a
Mhm.
social media platform, or what rooms would they be hanging out in? What networking
Mhm.
events would they go to? So getting a sense of that would be helpful in finding the right audience to be in front of. Because, if we can locate where those people are hanging out, let's go right to the source. The other piece that I love to focus on is the referral partners. And when I say referrals, I mean the who's also serving your audience and how do we get in front of them so they talk about you in a good way when you're not in the room. That's what I like
Mhm.
to focus on.
Oh, yeah. Well, we know about referral partnerships, right? Referral partnerships are the shit, right? It is a great
Oh,
way to get some great word of mouth out there and also connect with really great people that offer services that are just going to be in support. So, I believe referral partnerships is like the way to go, especially when it comes to potential leads of speaking engagements or events and things like that. I think that there's a lot of people out there right now that are coaches and consultants that are like, I feel like I have this great message and I feel like I should be on a stage. So, like, what are some of the things that would typically run through somebody's head before they actually say, hey, you know what? I think I'm ready to take this next step and become a speaker. Like, what are some of the things that they might be thinking right now so that they can kind of see, like, oh, is this where I'm at right now? Is this my next step? What are some of those aspects that they should be kind of paying attention to in themselves?
I think definitely having the purpose. What is your purpose for wanting to be on stage? Is it to get more clients? Is it just to be able to share with others? Or what's your outcome from it? Is it going be intentional about it? Do you just want to be in front of thousands of people and do that over and over and go on tour per se? Or do you really want to build relationships? Because um, there's so many different speaking opportunities out there, but you really need to focus on what's the purpose of doing it. And then a lot of imposter syndrome going on. Well, what do I have to say that everyone else hasn't said already? So, what makes you unique, and what story can you bring to the table that will engage the audience? So, those are a couple things to keep in mind.
That's awesome. Those are really, really great things to take into consideration because when you're thinking about doing something like going out in front of an audience, the first thing that you think of is, am I good enough? Right? It's like immediately like you shrink down, even if you're fucking amazing, right? Just you shrink down naturally because like that's what we're like kind of trained to do is like don't get too big for your britches. Those types of comments are drilled into our heads so much. So that makes a lot of sense. So let me ask you this. So when someone is like, all right, I think I'm ready. What would be the next steps of them saying, okay, you know what, I should probably talk to Susie. Like, what are
Yeah.
some of the things that they might be like, they should have to think about or prepare for in like having a conversation with you on taking the next steps on getting on that stage?
I think if they take a gradual approach to it, I just
Mhm.
want more eyes on my stuff, my message. Start with podcasts, start with something very basic. And what's helpful is maybe having a speaker one sheet or a web page where it lists like all of the things that you could talk about. When you're applying for a podcast, I love to have a list of questions that the host can ask you. So you're making it so easy for the host to have you as a guest that they're going to have you back. That makes their life so much easier. So providing questions like that and just make sure you listen to a podcast before you just apply for it. You want to know what it's about. You want to get the sense, the heart of it. So I think that's also important. And just being intentional about the whole process. Just don't go out there to just get exposure, going viral. Not everybody's going to go viral right away. It's just being very
Mhm.
clear about your purpose and what you want to share. Be passionate, and people will attract to you, which is cool.
I love that. I love that. And I think that you're right. Like you're right on target when you say like, basically what you're saying is like not all exposure is good exposure,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I
Yep.
mean, I think that's so important because like there's so many people that think like, oh, if I'm out there, it's good. I'm gonna make sales, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that. And for some people, I mean, I've seen people that say like they just jump directly into the exposure. They're just like, I just gotta speak, I just gotta do this, and I just gotta do that. And then they don't have an offer in the
Yeah.
background. And I'm just like, whoa, well, why are you speaking then? What's the
Yeah.
purpose? Like what are you speaking for? Are you speaking to get paid to speak? Are you speaking to get content? Like, what's the purpose of speaking if you don't have an offer? Like, I'm just curious on
Exactly.
what that looks like. So when someone's coming to you and they're just like, I think I just need to be out there, but they're like, don't have that offer. What do you usually suggest in that situation? Because I usually say, don't do it until you have something to send
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, I usually like, or I suggest for people to either work with a speaker coach or really dialing in with the message first. It's
Yeah.
almost like going through like a speaker lab or an academy where you're kind of like dialing into what your message should be and how you want to share that. The other aspect is a lot of people think they need a book in order to be able to speak, or it's a way to get their book advertised. So, okay, I have a book now. That means I have to be a speaker. That's not necessarily the case. So, there's just a lot of noise out there. Even with TEDx, there's people who help get you on stage at a TEDx or even walk you through that process. So, just being intentional. And the other part about going viral is you're gonna have haters. You're gonna not have a good speaking engagement. Like you're gonna get up on stage and forget things and you'll feel bad or someone will critique you. You have to be resilient. You have to just get up again and do it and just shine because you were meant to share your message. Bottom line.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. And I think that you brought up a couple of good points there. I mean, the fact that there's so much noise out there, there is so much noise. It's in everything, unfortunately. There's just so much noise. I mean, I have so many people that say, well, this coach says that I need to do this. This business coach is telling me that I need to do this. And I'm just like, that is like cookie cutter, very basic. Everybody does this model.
Yeah.
But if you do that, you're falling into the loop of what everybody else is doing. And unfortunately, you're not going to stand out and be different. right?
Yeah.
So like when you're talking about like, standing out, you really do have to stand out if you want someone to hire you as a speaker to have you go into that space. So if you can, give us a little bit of an understanding of like exactly what it is that you do. If a coach or consultant comes to you and they're just like, hey, you know what? I think I'm ready to do this. Like, how do you help them get on more stages?
Yeah, usually they come to me, they know exactly what they want to talk about, they know who they want to talk to, and we're just the vessel to get them in front of the right audience fastest, in the fastest way possible with connecting, finding the right people to be power partners or referral partners. So it's a little all of the hard work has usually been done before
Hmm.
by the time somebody gets to us. So we are just
Yeah.
searching, everywhere, scouring the internet and all of our resources to find the best place for them to go. One of our clients only wants to be in front of commercial pilots or airline pilots. That's a
Oh,
very unique audience,
that
and so
is.
it's kind
Yeah.
of fun to dig in and really like where do they hang out and who are they talking to and are they on YouTube, are they on TikTok, just finding that out. um, but what I really want people to do when they work with us is I want them to build relationships. I want to help them before, during, and after. Like, who are we connecting with? What impact are you making on the stage? And then what do we do after? Let's make some magic happen. Let's
Mm.
impact these people's lives so they remember everything that you've said. That really is the part that I just get fired up about.
I love that. I love that. I mean, honestly, like, especially in the coaching consulting space, it is all about relationships. Like, it's 100% relationship building. And, having their stuff figured out, like, that's something that I work with people on is like getting them, like, their stuff ironed out, like, figure out their offer, figure out how they want to market it, how they want to target their audience, like, all of that type of stuff. And so, like, by the time they're done with me, like, I just kind of can pass them right over to you and be like, okay, they're ready to go. Right. Because I mean, really,
Yeah,
when you're talking about getting people on stage, like it's a lot of work.
it
It's a
is.
lot of work.
Every application is different.
Yeah.
Everything is, you have to tailor your presentation to,
Hmm.
thank goodness for AI to help you come up with ideas,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of work. It takes hours and hours to research and then apply. So we're just trying to take that pressure off of you so you can show up and speak. That's what
Yeah.
you're the best at. So, yeah.
That's huge, honestly. I mean, I've met a lot of people that would like hire an EA or a VA to go and do that work for them. And unfortunately, they'll put them on everything. Like
Yeah.
anything that they can get them on, they'll just put them on that. And it's like you're actually wasting time if you're doing things that like don't align with like who you're supposed to be talking to. So if like you're going on a podcast just to go on a podcast because you think the exposure is going to be good, it's just a waste of time. Like, granted, you're creating content, but unfortunately, not all
Yeah.
content is created equally, right? So
Yeah.
you gotta
Yeah.
you gotta make sense of like what are you spending your time doing. So I love that you and your team actually like get in there and fine tune it and detail it to like exactly what that person needs and exactly who the audience is. Because I mean, commercial pilots only, that's a freaking hard market to find. You're just like, we got it. It's all right. We got this. We're gonna
Yeah.
do it. That's
Yeah.
freaking awesome. That is
Exactly.
awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else that you feel like, somebody that is like, ready to kind of jump into, go into like the speaking space, should I say, and speak more often, like being on stage more often? Is there anything that they should have to take into consideration to be like, okay, so I need to prepare X, Y, and Z, and then I'm going to call Susie, and then I'm going to kind of start this path for myself. Is there anything that they have to kind of preliminary like have besides their offer, besides all of that kind of stuff? Is there anything else that they need to take into consideration? Maybe like, do they want like how many podcasts do they want to do? How much do they want to travel? Is there things like that that they have to take into consideration?
Yeah, I definitely think the purpose, like just thinking about that
Yeah,
purpose, and I almost think less is more, just like the toilet paper, as Charmin
I
would
love
say.
it.
Like like, let's be intentional. Like, if you got on 4 stages for the year, and then we structured all of this content before, during, and after, and these connections, and finding the right networking events to fill in, like, wouldn't that just feel easy rather than, stage to stage to stage, and you're just exhausted. You don't even want to prepare another slide presentation for whatever. We don't want you to burn out from speaking either.
Right.
We just want you to build relationships and grow your business in the meantime, while you do it. It's just an
Yeah.
easier way to, instead of having to rely on ads or marketing in other ways. It's a human related, and you're impacting so many people when you're sharing your message with others. So just think of
Yeah.
the power of that. So I would say just get in the reps. Just
Yeah.
keep doing it, keep applying, and the good things will land. And you just have to be patient. That's another thing. You're not going to get like the biggest things right away the first month that you try things. You're going
Yeah.
to it's going to take a little bit of time.
Absolutely. It definitely takes a lot of finessing. I can say that. And, from someone who's done all different types of speaking engagements, I can tell you that they're not all created equally. And you
Yeah.
definitely want to make sure that you have somebody on your team helping, because to
Yeah.
be honest, I had somebody on my team trying to help me getting more speaking engagements. And let me tell you something, like some of the things that I got booked on, I'm like, why the fuck am I here? Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's granted it might be my audience, but like there's 4 people in the room.
Yeah.
I'm like, I
Yeah.
just traveled all of the money that I just spent on all of this. And I'm like, there's 4 fucking people in the room. Like,
Yeah.
why am I here? Right.
Yeah.
So, I think that it's so important to realize that, like, powering up with a powerful team like what you have is so important, because your time is the one thing that you cannot make more of, right? We tried that
Yes.
shit. God laughed at us, right? He's just like, that's cute, right? We can't make more time, but what we can do is make the most of the time that we're spending. So,
Yes.
powering up with you guys would be like the supercharging of the engine, if you will, to get all that stuff rolling out, and making sure that like you're getting on the right stages and you're not wasting your time or efforts, or
Yeah.
even money. If you're spending money to be on stages, like you don't want to spend money to be on stages that you have no business being on.
Yeah. Yeah. And everybody wants to be on a paid stage too. Like if I can get
Yeah,
paid, absolutely. And
right.
those are harder to come by,
Of
Not
course.
everybody is paying as much as they used to. There's more competition. So it's,
Yeah,
be open to doing something for a lesser amount if you're in front of your perfect audience. It can
right.
be magical. You could get thousands of dollars after you talk to them based on the interaction. So just be open to all the possibilities, whether it's writing an article, appearing on a TV show, there's just be open and be driven and ready to go and say yes to the right things, say no to the things that will not serve you.
I love that. I love that. That I think is like the best advice right there. All right, so Susie, you have this amazing free gift. So can you tell everybody what this amazing free gift is that you brought with you today?
Yeah, I have a list of 10 places where you can find speaking gigs. So go ahead and do it on your own. Yeah, it's a list. You just sign up for the list and you get an email with the resources and you can go find some things on your own.
That is amazing. All right, everyone. So if you want the free list, which let me tell you, 10 places, 10 is a lot. So I
Mhm.
can tell you, you're going to find some really great insights into this. So if you want this list, drop the word speak below in the comments. When you drop the word speak below, Susie and her team is going to reach out to you and get you access to that list right away. So if you are like, absolutely, I need to speak, I need to know where these resources are, I need to start this process, then absolutely drop that word speak in the comments below, and Susie and her team will reach out to you. Susie, thank you so much again for being here today. I really had a great time with you, and I love collaborating with you. So like I have like a couple of clients I'm sending over to you right away. We're cinching up their offers, and then they're passing them right over to you and being like, okay, girl, get them out there. Because I absolutely love that that's what you do, because that is a hard job. It's a lot of work. So
Yes.
thank you so much again for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Suzanne.
All right, everybody, we'll see you next time. Bye for now.